Hey Ari, what's going on, brother?
Hey, Foti, what's up? How's it going?
Not bad, not bad. It's that time again for us. It's our sipping session where we explore great wines. And in this segment, we're going to explore the grape called Montepulciano,
I know.
right?
Actually, something I've more recently discovered, but it's actually fast becoming one of my favorites.
I can see that, and there's a lot of reasons why, but I decided to choose Montepulciano because I think that there's a little bit of confusion with a lot of us wine lovers where there's Montepulciano, the grape, which comes from Abruzzo, Italy, where Abruzzo is on the east coast, central part of the country. And then there's also Montepulciano, the area, which is in southern Tuscany, which makes wine as well, but there they grow a different grape called Sangiovese.
So there's a
So
little bit of
often enough,
confusion going on.
yeah, it's easily confused because of the fact that there's a town and a grape with the same name that are in two different areas. So what we're trying today is our sip of this segment is Montepulciano di Abruzzo, which clearly signifies that it's the grape coming from Abruzzo, even though the grape Montepulciano does grow outside of Abruzzo in other areas. We're having the Abruzzo version.
Let me ask you, what is the main difference between the two different Montepulcianos?
So the two main distinct differences is there's Montepulciano the grape, and then there's Montepulciano the location, the town. So there's a town called Montepulciano.
But I'm saying, like, if somebody is looking for the grape and they get the
Well,
location one, or vice
so
versa, is there a difference?
vice versa. Good. That's a good question. So uh, they're made from two different grapes. So distinctly, aromas and flavors are going to be different. They're both drier style wines. They're both relatively medium to light body, but the difference would be flavor and textures, right? Um, Typically, Montepulciano, the grape, produces very soft, easy drinking uh, productions that have some dark berry flavors. And then Montepulciano, the town that makes red wine, uses Sangiovese, and the wines there tend to be a little firmer, drier, earthier, and a little pepperish too.
I
So that would be
think
my take.
I think I'm not sure, but I think the one from Abruzzo is the one that I like. I think.
I think you like them all, but but
Yeah,
yes, yes.
probably. But I feel
Well, here's
like
the
this one specifically is like for me like that smoother texture that I like.
correct, but it still has. Sometimes people think, oh, it's smooth and it's easy drinking, so it's not that serious of a wine. But this particular Montepulciano di Abruzzo comes from a third generation family in Abruzzo that makes this selection, even though it's smooth, there's still some textures that make it a little firm. So it makes a great sipping red, but it also makes it a great food wine too as well.
Yeah, I agree. So we're gonna
Um,
pour some.
we're gonna dive right into this selection. But Montepulciano di Abruzzo has been popular around the country in the U.S. I should say, in different segments of different cities, wherever there was heavily populated Italians with lots of restaurants. Montepulciano di Abruzzo was a featured wine at the restaurant level. So most of us might have had a Montepulciano, but we just don't remember having it. It could have been quite some time, but they're making a comeback. They've definitely been in retail as far as value wines because they tend to be very inexpensive. This one as well. One of our picks on our site as well is something that ranges under $10 a bottle. But just because it's $10 a bottle, I don't like to call it cheap. I like to call it value
Oh,
wine.
no, it's definitely a value because I really like this wine.
So if you notice as I'm pouring, nice color, but still light enough. You can tell right away it's got lots of berry flavors, aromas, I should say flavors. But right away, once you pour into the glass, the aromas are just immediately coming up from the glass. Some rustic aromas, some say, oh, what does rustic mean? Just basically earthy tones, maybe some dusty notes,
Yeah.
dirt.
Yeah.
But let's give it a sip. Yes, absolutely. Smooth, good flavor, good fruit.
Yeah, very good fruit. It's exactly like up my alley.
Now, when I say when folks ask me like, what do you mean good fruit? What do you mean by good flavor? So basically, the flavors are ripe. Think about any fruit when it's ripe, right? It's got a ton of fruitness to it, which is followed by some natural sweetness, not sweet like sugar, but just think in your head riper fruit, like a ripe grape, versus on the opposite side when fruit is like too green, it lacks that
Yeah,
sweetness.
yeah. I know exactly what you mean, and this is actually that's a good description of this wine right now.
So for me, this is what I would call a great everyday drinking red from Italy. Montepulciano d'Abruzzo is something I highly recommend for those of us that haven't tried it before. It has more fruit for those of us that might like wines from Chianti. Chianti is another area we're going to explore in one of our other sipping sessions. But Chianti is not too far away from this area. They grow primarily Sangiovese grapes, so the wines there tend to be a little dry and earthier. Here we have a wine that has just a little more fruitness to it.
Yeah, and I'm somebody who definitely suggests people, if they haven't, even if they have, but definitely try this. It's available on our shopping cart at Urban Wine Club, and it's a great value. I mean, really good value. I was telling you beforehand that like I'm constantly buying this when I just want to grab a nice sipping red.
And even if it's warm out, like this is a great summery red, because some reds in the summer can be a little too heavy for us. But this definitely could be an option if you still feel like you want red, but it's a little too warm out. This is light enough that could definitely be the fit. And I also would recommend, not some folks look at me funny when I say this, but even if you were to put a very slight chill on this bottle, like even what I mean by chill, if you put this in your refrigerator for like 20 minutes,
Really?
that little bit of coolness, it will be very smooth and it will be very refreshing during a warm day.
Well, that's something I haven't tried. I definitely
Just a
will.
little tip.
Now you intrigued me with giving this a chill, because I think it'll taste really good.
Yeah, absolutely. And there you have it, folks. Our pick for the segment, Montepulciano d'Abruzzo. Whenever you can, grab a bottle and explore it.
All right. Good to see you, Foti, and
Likewise.
thanks for the info. And I'm going to go and polish off this bottle, as I usually do after we're done.
Excellent.
And we'll
Until
talk
next time.
next time. Thanks, everybody,
Cheers.
for watching. Cheers.